the memory I thought of with the tree is there was a magnolia tree in my yard growing up, and I used to love climbing it, and would harness my sister into the tree and take a rope, and I'd harness myself and I'd try to belay her up because I was on the climbing team and I was just so excited about climbing, but she was not. So I was just like, oh, one more branch, and it was never very successful, but I had fun. I think she might carry some resentment for that when she grows up every now and then, but that was an important tree, and I think magnolia trees are just so beautiful to climb. So I'll start off with saying that last night I got to the Kroger parking lot and called Kristina and said, I can't do this. This is too much, this is too hard. I don't have the emotional capacity to be here. I'm tired. And she responded in a way that didn't pressure me at all to be here and to come, but kind of changed my perspective on it. I was so focused on how much food I had to cook and how long that would take, and hadn't really thought about how rewarding of an experience it is to cook for people, and how much of a thing that is that I love to do. So much of my life is about feeding people. I cook a lot of dinner parties. I get so much joy from sharing my food. And so with Kristina reframing it and me realizing that this can be a really grounding experience, and connecting with people through the food that I cook is just so important to me, and I haven't had a dinner party in a long time. So I'm thankful to Kristina's words, or for Kristina's words, and I'm really happy to be here tonight.
We're so happy.
Okay, so yeah, as Kristina said, I've done all of the Bushwick Book Club so far, and usually when I start reading the book, I try to be really, really creative, unsuspecting. If there's mentions of food, I try to avoid them because I want it all to be metaphor. I don't want to cook what's in the book. I don't want it to be that direct. And so as I started this book, I was just crossing off all my favorite things to cook. I was like, I guess I can't make all of these things. And then I eventually got to the Happy Fig menu, and I was just like, enough. I must cook this menu. And so that's what I did. And I guess there's metaphor in that, in the way that the Happy Fig was a space for Kostas and Daphne to connect with each other and explore their love for each other in a really beautiful and deep way over food. And I think, it's just, I think food, as well as other sensory things, will directly connect you to what it feels like to be a different person. And so I think this idea of oneness is really easy to explore through food. Mm-hmm. And that's why I love reading about food history. That's why I love cooking dinner parties, highlighting cuisines from all around the world. I think it's just such a direct and sensory way to connect yourself with other people's experiences with life. And because we all taste and we all eat. And so I think in the way that those two characters explored their love through food, I think we can explore those characters through food as well, the same food, and then also connect with each other. So I'm going to read there's a few lines at the top of the menu, which I think kind of encapsulate what what this food means. So, the Happy Fig menu. Our cuisine is a mixture of the many cultures who have inhabited this heavenly island throughout the centuries. Our food is fresh, our wine is old, and our recipes timeless. We are a family here, a family that gives, shares, listens, sings, laughs, cries, forgives, and most importantly, appreciates good food. And I love that because I think that is a perfect description of how we all connect with each other here. And so yeah, I of course didn't make the whole menu because there were too many things. So, yeah, basically the furthermost left dish is just small pitas, and that is meant to go with the yellow split pea fava, which is the third dish. And I couldn't find yellow split peas, so we use yellow lentils, but it works. And then we have the Cypriot village salad. It's a grain salad with green wheat berries and lentils and what was the dried fruit that we put in there? Currants.
Currants, yeah.
Currants, a lot of herbs. I think it's really wonderful. There's a yogurt dressing, so that one's not vegan. The pita is vegan. And then we have a slow roasted pork with oregano, wine, and honey. So that was on the menu. And so I marinated that. I cooked 17 pounds of pork. It really doesn't look like that many, but I hope it's enough. I marinated it overnight in 4 bottles of red wine and a lot of dried oregano. And so, yeah, that's the pork. And then we also have, the fava. And then there's this big platter with different kinds of olive, 2 different kinds of dried figs, and a fig jam. And then, I really had wished that it was either fig season or at least the fig trees had leaves on them so I could wrap something in them and, steam it or use fig leaves or figs in some way, but it's too early. So we have dried figs and fig jam. And then there are a few things that I just made that weren't on the menu that I thought would go well with this, and also are made from produce and flavors that people eat and grow in Cyprus. So there's raw blended tomatoes with garlic and a lot of olive oil. And then I made this olive, orange, and fennel salad with mint. And then I also, not as a part of the menu, but the breakfast, kind of early in the book, that Ada eats, sounded so wonderful. And the poached eggs over a bed of garlic yogurt, I don't like eggs, but, so there's asparagus on there. And ideally my plan would be to try to plate everyone's, just so we can control portions, but that might dissolve as the line goes on and it might get too much. So we'll just see what happens. But yeah, I'll have some helpers and we'll be behind the table here, and then you just tell me if you don't want meat or if there's certain things you don't want, but we'll be able to plate your food.